Hi, I am Ashwan. This is a solution for the front-end technical assignment. In this project, I am building the pipeline builder system using the node abstraction and direct asynchronous graph validation in backend technology. Main goal was building the pipeline system using the node. It is easy to create a workflow to the user. Then one of the major challenge to avoid the code across a multiple node types. It is increase the scalability and reusability, adding the new node and enable the dynamic behavior to the nodes and validate the pipeline structure using the backend logic. This is the overall system architecture. We have a front end built in with the React and React framework where user can create the pipeline by adding the connection like text input output nodes. Then text node also having support to dynamic variable, and once pipeline is created, front end sending the node and edges to the JVS request to the through the HTTP request. Then once we have a backend builder using the FastAPIs, backend receive the pipelines and processing it and calculate a number of nodes and detecting the cycle or not using the di direct asynchronous graph, and finally backend return the result back to the front end display in the user. Overall system follows the client server architecture. Each node component having the lot of repeated code escaping from the layout and connection. We created the reusable BaseNode connection. It common functionality like input, output, and UI structure. Now instead of rewriting the code, you just simply passing the different input and output content. This makes the system as scalable, maintainable, easy to execute. TextNode to support the dynamic variable and resizing, and I use a regex to detect a variable in double curly braces and dynamically create input handler. And also I implemented the auto resizing the text area based on the context. It improves the usability. On the backend, I used a FastAPI to handle the pipeline process. The frontend is sending the data to the backend, including node and edges to the endpoint. The backend is processing the first count of number of nodes and number of edges, then detecting a cycle is present or not using the direct asynchronous graph. Then the graph is detected, it invalid pipeline, then send back to the front end. This is the final execution of the project. I build a base node. Base node is reducing the rewriting the code, and it is improve the reusability and scalability of the code. Do not take the lot of time input and output and UI component in the same node. Then I build a text node. Text node having the resizing and variable parsing, and it directly updating the variable in the double curly braces. And all these files are front-end files. It's sending the message to the JSON file, sending the message to the backend. API node is an API call, and these are the files of the front end. Then this is a backend. This is the backend file. We are connecting the backend file with front end. Backend validates the graph and generate the data, number of nodes and number of graphs in the file. Finally, demo of the product. This is the final demo of the project. For example, you check the text box with having an example. it dynamically increasing. And real-time update, using the double curly braces, write the like name, it print the like real-time update variable is a name, and submit, enter the submit, it generated like back connected the data center to backend, then generate the data. Number of nodes 4 nodes, 1 2 3 4, and number of edges 2 edges, and graph is not cycle. And this is a final output of the product. Thank you.